ones making Falcons guess their decisions.
And right now, Falcons have one more ban here. In the previous game, they banned out the Melissa, making it so that the draft was super open, eventually picking out the Fanny, and really working out well for them. But interestingly enough, both Vitality as well as Falcons, they are very happy where they're at, right? Falcons does not want to leave this red side, and Vitality really does not want to leave this blue side. But now match point here. Falcons just need one more win. Vitality, whatever draft they're going to go for, this has to be their very best.
I like your point before that. I don't think we've ever seen 4 matches in a row where it has always been the same blue side, same red side. Vitality's comfortable with it. Even after the win of, even after the loss of Falcons, they still chose red. I think Vitality wants to run it back right now. So we're going to run it back. We're just not going to pick up the Kufa this time.
I feel like just
and I'm going to hit the wall.
Belleric +1, and then you're good, right?
Well, at this point, Shogun and Barats go hand in hand. It's like peanut butter and jelly.
Peanut butter
I do
and Barats.
love butter.
It's like Barats and Denna.
Yeah. It's like two peds in an aircon or something, right?
Like it's like Trex Lafell and Rain Day.
That's right.
There you go. We're perfect brothers.
Or like Belleric and Fanny. Oh, 3 American brothers, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like
Same
Belleric
family.
and Fanny, who are also a response on the side of that. We see the Hirara picked up as well for Nile, and the Eudora again. So they are running it back. They are saying this is exactly the same first 3 so far.
Except for the
Except
Hirara.
the Or.
The Hirara.
The Hirara.
Last time it was the Paquito.
That's right.
The
It was
Hirara
the
got
Paquito.
banned in
You're
second phase,
absolutely
so
right. Thank you for
Vitality
that.
wants to bring it a little more aggressive, I would say. I like it. I'm not against it. The Hirara, we haven't seen much Hirara versus Fanny games.
And now, so
really
this
good.
is already a bit of a difference here, but they still got to be careful in case something like a Farsa does come in, because I feel like as long as they pick up a roamer that can help out this Hirara and actually stay in the front lines, I feel like they're in a very good spot, because that's one of the problems where you leave the Barats all alone in the front line, he's just gonna get crushed. Unless now you make the difference where you ban out the carry. If you ban out the carry and maybe even potentially ban out the Moskov, then I feel like this Barats will be safe. He won't be countered just as hard as he was in the previous game.
Well, knowing the opportunity of that Farsa getting banned out, they lock it in first phase. This means no Lapu for the side of Falcon. They are going to have the range. They are going to have the quick rotations, but Vitality will at least have a bit more time to adapt and think about how they want to answer this Farsa. Because Haji, yes, there's a lot of counters to a Farsa, and it's one of the reasons why it has gotten kind of pushed out of the meta. But a good mid laner, someone like Haji, will still find the positioning, will still find the timing of those feathered airstrikes. It can still always be a problem on this hero.
I mean, like, that's the good old question every pro player has. Like, oh, this hero, what's the weakness? Like, oh, you can get caught. And it's like, oh, so as long as I don't get caught, I'm good?
Exactly.
Exactly, right? So he's just like, hey, as long as I'm so good that they can't catch me anyways, I have no weakness.
Now, is that a Lapu ban?
Yes, that's a Lapu ban.
Lapu ban.
So we're seeing that Lapu ban there, and it is also, interestingly enough, cards being shown for mid and for jungle. The way that this is different is Vitality had been showing the Paquito there, and they had been flexing in game 1, and then they didn't flex in game 2, and they've spread out this kind of idea of what are we going to do, and they waited till the end, but they were not getting the consistent best end of that last pick. So I think they've just gone with, here's what we're doing, and we're going to try to beat you traditionally here.
Rain Day, Trex, my fellow Americans here. I'm just worried that for now, Vitality, they don't have any real way to dive, right? I mean, like Shogun with the flicker sure can probably dive towards the Farsa, but they don't have something like a Claude or Lapu. They could have the Claude later on, but I'm honestly not entirely convinced that that would be an amazing pick. Because right now, it looks like the Farsa is going to be undisturbed.
Why not, though?
Why not? Which one?
Claude.
I just feel like going up against this Fanny and then potentially whatever pick he has later on is just that he goes in, he's going to die instantly. Because if you show the Claude and the marksman isn't picked up, you can pick up something like a Clint and basically do the same thing what he's been doing against the Melissa.
They won one time with the Claude. They're 1-0. So it's something they're comfortable with. But is it a bad matchup into the Fanny? Lafell raising some questions.
Falcons might pick up the Paquito here, honestly. Wouldn't be a horrible take. At that point, they might be overdoing it on the burst damage. They go for the Uranus instead, something a little more sustainable, something that can take those big Eudora ults to the face, something that can take the damage of the Herara to the face. Vitality now needing to pick. You mentioned Grok last game.
This game honestly wouldn't be bad.
Or Gatot could be another possible answer. You get the taunt onto the Fanny.
Because
You
right
also
now,
have dive.
you don't need to support Shogun anymore. You just need to support Nile on this Herara, right? So just have someone that can be with the Herara and then either give a revitalize or just create enough peel so that it doesn't become a problem. Because right now, Falcons, they have the Uranus. Uranus can penetrate you, and that's going to be a problem that I don't see them solving just yet.
So the Cho's up, but is that too much single target ISO? Do you want to? I mean, is that not worth it because you have the
I feel like it's still worth it. I feel like it's still worth it. So they do pick up the Cho as well as the Moskov. So far, very clean drafting coming in from Vitality. Nothing too crazy, just MSC standard.
They got stuff off the board. Cho has been banned before. They got their Barats, Eudora, also, and Herara, characters that have been banned. Moskov, last pick. You could tell that Vitality feel confident about this one, but Team Falcons with a response. What do we do here? And we're looking for the Hanabi. Oh, baby, baby, baby. CC immunity.
I mean, it showed up in MWI. It worked out. And in this game, I think they're banking on Super Marco not getting touched at all. And even if he does, it's just going to be the Cho. So this will be a good front to back for Falcons. And it's up to Vitality to break that.
A lot is on the line here, and Falcons definitely looking for a mid to late game spike. Maybe they get an early game advantage. Vitality, on the other hand, just needs to find those pickoffs like they did in the previous game they won.
Well, it's up to Team Falcons to close it out and move the Philippines into the semifinals of MSC. And it's up to Vitality to push us to one more game. We're going in for game 4 this time. It's Gideon and Brigitte.
Game 4 begins, and we already know this is match points for Team Falcons. They are one step away from actually getting more club championship points, but more importantly, deeper within the tournaments here in the MLBB category. Moreno, I'm surprised that he's got a sprint rig. I'm just as shocked as you are.
It was the first thing I had to point my finger at looking at our monitors here, Gideon, because what do you mean? It's the first time you're seeing a different battle spell from Vitality, and it's not a Purify.
Yeah, I mean, Moreno, I don't know whether this is going to be the play or not, but without a flicker, and he still has to pull yourself together as well. So does that mean, what is this opting for? Like, Kyle now has a direct target on Moreno's head as soon as that ball lightning comes out of him.
Yeah, well, there is such a huge job for Moreno to accomplish in this game, at least. You know he is going to be the main source of burst damage. There has to be a way for them to get those shields out for Super Marco, but First Blood immediately... What? They just found open over there.
Hey, you can't deny the amount of early game damage that this team has, especially at level 2, right? We've seen a lot of Herara players kind of set up with their mid duo to kind of look for a fight, freeze out the lane, even if it's in a neutral state, and then go for an early First Blood. Okay. Luckily, at least, you know, Owen, he didn't end up losing out on his flicker, and Finn, he manages to get out of there, doesn't lose his flicker as well.
I guess a lot of people are happy with what they're seeing right now. We're finally getting Nile on an assassin. And there is much more action happening across the map, because I feel like when they were on the Paquito the last 2 games, there's just so much pressure over to Emad, which I feel like now is a bit more alleviated considering the fact that their damage is a bit more spread out. There's also Moreno too on the sprint, who we're yet to see in action. But we're looking forward to that since Vitality at least have a better grasp of the early game this time alongside this Cho too.
Yeah, now Falcons were looking for a couple of conditions in the drafting phase. One, somebody that doesn't really quote-unquote disrupt this Farsa as often, and also making sure that you're protecting your gold lane in a winning matchup. And I think Super Marco on this Hanabi, as long as the wave's in the right position, you know, can get some free harassment. His first turtle should go over to Vitality's side, but you can see they're just trying to bait him into something, right? Come on, get into these fights before you're level 4 is the only time we can actually punish you.
Ooh, there was an SOD towards the purple. I thought that were actually going to steal away, but okay. Kyle will still secure nonetheless. That was already Moreno trying to burst down Flap too. Not much in terms of team fights just yet happening across the map at least. Oh, Purify forced out for Flap though.
Yeah, Super Marco also losing his Aegis as well. There could be a potential gank angle for Finn if he wants to flicker on top of Super Marco. He's very vulnerable right now, and I think there needs to be some kind of communication. But they've missed their opportunity here. You can see that Finn alongside with Moreno trying to control this top side, keeping track of where Kyle is going to be.
Yeah, they can't afford to let Kyle find the pickoffs that will set the pace once again for Team Falcons. Not now that they've finally gotten it for themselves. Shogun's been somewhat taking care of the XP lane surprisingly well though, even despite the matchup considering to be a Barrett's Uranus.
That's why we're seeing a lot of these motions from Vitality going towards the top side of the map. They don't want Flap to have that moment. Oh, the kick!
Oh, Radu Dryad connected perfectly. Kyle with a thug throat, but it's Moreno who finds him first. It's gonna be a 1-for-1 trade so far. Jungle for Rome.
That's really interesting. I thought that Haji would just instantly spam the feather. Wait, hold on!
They find Haji. Fortunately, had the Purify to get out of there. But still, that was a... Yeah, you were saying it was a roam for jungle, and...
I would have imagined that Haji would have gotten at least Finn's flicker or something, but
yeah.
I think he's purposefully delaying the shots from the feathered airstrike just to make sure he gets maximum value out of it. Like, so what if Finn survives, right? If he doesn't have flicker, he's just as good as useless. That means this next feathered airstrike is going to be less contested for the upcoming fights. And now, with the next turtle in 5 more seconds, plenty of battle spells on their hands. Shogun doesn't have his Detna's welcome just yet, but they're going to fight as soon as it's online.
Which is great. That just shows how Vitality are now very calculated in terms of their usage of skills and resources. That's a Sky Piercer pickup already for Nile, so things should be a lot more better for Vitality if they find and hand over the kills to him this time. But Ogwen still has the Wrath of Dryad. Flap zoning out to Kyle. Really secures the objective, but the Way of the Dragon is going to land onto Haji. That's a Piercer stack for Nile.
Wow, Vitality say you get to have the turtle for free. We're not going to contest it, of course, but we want to go for Haji knowing that his battle spell is down, and now they catch Ogwen.
Ogwen again as the Belleric, the stun!
Oh!
It's a 2-man stun. Now connects to Flap as well. Kyle goes flying in. He finds Evan, cuts thrown on to Moreno too. Those are 2 crucial members that Falcons get, however.
Yeah, and the fans are going back and forth. Nobody is happy with the trades, but Falcon win out big time on the trades because we also get Super Marco breaking this tier 1 at the same time. The SOD connects, all the Guambo combos are there, and even Iman getting into this fight ended up getting him killed. This is the worst possible scenario when you want your insurance to grow. It's really sad if you got to pull it out early.
And all the while, Super Marco has just been farming. He's just been pushing the waves. He's been staying here down bottom, but it's not like there's much attention put towards the bottom lane by Vitality either, because we were already talking about how their rotations were mainly focused towards the XP lane. At least Shogun is having a better time, but we're slowly transitioning to the part of the game where Super Marco might be a lot bigger of a problem than you think of him to be.
Oh yeah, he's already quite a big problem. Dom Ice finally completed by Finn to try and reduce the healing overall from the side of Falcons, but man, until Super Marco gets his 3 items, he's still just going to be only a decent amount of damage only in team fights, right? In the 1v1s, unless you've got a target to bounce though his auto attacks, you're really not getting the full effect of the Hanabi.
Okay. It's at least Sky Pierce again for Moreno, still having those stacks. Dominus Ice already picked up for Finn as well. Vitality looking good so far, at least in the beginning and the start of this game. But Falcons, the way that they've been able to find these angles, I think it's starting to become really tricky for Vitality, especially with Eman choosing to join the fights but not really getting the maximum advantage out of it just yet.
And look at this spread here. They fight into this Tri-Brush, right? Where's the kick? Nope, they're not going to do it just yet. They're holding it. They're really tunnel visioning on that one priority target. This is allowing people like Super Marco to show up. He's not supposed to be a split pusher. In these cases, he's supposed to be a team fighter, and yet here he is.
Yeah, I think Eman and Super Marco at this point have just swapped roles.
Run!
Ooh, Super Marco running away. AG's already used. The burst from Nile is going to be enough though, but can they find the trade on Nile? The answer is no. Eman going in. Ogwen and Shogun not landing. The Daytona's welcome, so Haji still gets to pick off Eman. man!
That was such a weird sequence of events. Haji, again, a little bit slow on the reaction time here. He was waiting for the invulnerability, but I think he was anticipating it for too long. He should have just let it rip to force Niall to use the abilities. It's 3 shots to 2 abilities, and you can keep track of how many times he has that invulnerability if you see the little swords underneath the health bar. It's tough to keep up with. I know, a lot of people have been struggling with this new hero.
I am one.
I struggle too. Sometimes I forget using Hirara that I have combo abilities.
Mechanically and understanding, anticipating all these combos and the abilities that can come out of this hero. But Falcons, at least for now, again, they're able to somewhat be not as pressured. They're not forced, or they're not reacting to what Vitality want to get out of them, especially when it's in terms of forcing out really important utilities. And even now, you see the pressure is just constantly towards the bottom side of the map. Kyle flying in, tries to find Moreno.
Wow!
That's a sprint used right there. Is that how it's supposed to be?
Yeah, hey, he survived, right? If sprint makes me live with 1 HP,
Okay.
I'll take it any day. But I don't think he's going to get away with this for very long. And honestly, getting pretty lucky there with Finn able to... Oh, hold on.
Okay, Finn, no, he can't. He can't. Moreno was also just zoned out by the fettered airstrike alone.
I've never seen so many people just anticipating this Predator strike come out from Haji. Everyone's just looking at the tablet, just hoping maybe they do something now. And I think that's the big issue, right? Whoever makes that first move is going to get punished. And if Finn doesn't catch that feather airstrike at the right time, he's got a lot more that he has to do. He's got to figure out a way to kick Kyle in the middle of the fight.
Yeah, it's just tough. Like, Vitality, at this point, you really want to see them get to coordinate and layer down their skills well enough. But who should be the heroes to do that first? Who could you expect to primarily be the ones trying to set up and really layer down their skills together? Because at this point, Finn, Eman probably not, Moreno. There is a bit of a lack of damage if they really want to go for the front lines too. I mean, just now they also use the Thunder's Wrath, but it's not enough to really take down Flap on the Uranus.
Yep, it's really just a stat check, right? And Flap, he doesn't mind. This is why it's so annoying to deal with. Oh, hold on.
Okay, now they're going to try and burst him down. Flap still has the Purify though. He's not using it at all.
Me too.
They're not reacting to what's happening, to what Vitality's doing against them. Okay, now we see Eman joining in. Super Marco 2 nearby and within range, but the Wrath of Dryad is just going to allow Falcons to flawlessly take this objective for themselves. Super Marco with a free hit, Kyle with a gut thrown, already on a killing spree, and Shogun falls down next. 3 members out for Vitality.
Beautifully played by the Falcons. They understood neutral control is so easy for them when Owen just has to stand and press 1 button. That's literally, he just stood there like a tree. It's like, nah, you ain't walking out of here. The Wrath of Dryads is just a little too good. Unfortunately, it was on Vitality to force a play out to get the timing right. And as much as Niall can try to use his iframes, closing the distance is half the problem. And Ogwyn has way too wide of an AoE to completely ignore. So let's look at this replay one more time, right? Just keep your eyes on Ogwyn. He purposely takes 1 step over the neutral line to drop it down, to give them no opportunity. Even Shogun with the anti-CC wasn't able to catch Kyle mid-cable.
This is so perfect. He barely had to go in for a surprise Wrath of Dryad. It was just really a perfectly timed Wrath of Dryad alone. There was no flicker sacrifice. They also weren't poked down low enough because I don't think Vitality could really afford to. They barely have heroes who could poke. You try to close in, and that's about it. You pretty much expose yourself to Falcons already, and now they're knocking on the base turrets. Fortunately, Vitality are able to deal with it for now, but they already got all their energy shields, their holy shields out, and they still have waves incoming. 2 conceals already dropped down. Ogwen still not using the Wrath of Dryad. Finn trying to look for an angle. Daytona's Welcome finally committed onto Flap, but again, he's still not using the Purify.
I'm telling you, he's gonna hold it until, you know, Kingdom Come. By the time the Rapture comes, you'll be like, yes, Lord, I have the Purify. I've been holding it this whole time. Oh my goodness. He's not dead, and that's the important thing. He's 1-0-3, so really no use for it at this stage of the game.
Oh, no.
The biggest problem right now is who the heck can deal with Super Marco?
Oh, that's a problem. That's the biggest problem. A Wrath of Dryad Flicker combo under the turret of Vitality. Enough to take down Niall. Falcons don't seem like they're doing much just to take what they want.
What, you see what I mean? Literally, there's nothing they can do. As long as Super Marco has that Aegis, he's walking around as if he's got Purify. And Vitality recognize that. They can't suppress him. They can't lock him down to the point at that stage. They need Moreno to close the distance, but he has the sprint, so he can't.
Oh, Shogun. Oh, Shogun. Not even Shogun can handle this Hanabi anymore. Okay. Ogwen will fall, though. Lightning Truncheon pickup from Haji, and they will settle with just 2 base turrets taken down.
At this stage, Vitality, they just have to play to scale until we see Iman actually, well, I think that's his 4th item at this stage, so he should be in pretty good strength. Trinity already complete, I would assume, as well, if he's getting Malefic done, but right now, the odds are not looking good, and somebody needs to clean that long lane.
Yes, someone has to deal with it, but Vitality, they're all here. They want to contest. Eman's the one trying to at least poke down the Lord for now. They're trying to hunt down Kyle, but Flap is onto Shogun! Oh, Nile falling does not look good for Vitality, and it's just Kyle flying in! He finds a double, can be a triple. If they find Eman, here's Spear of Misery to save him for just a bit, but it's just Eman, Gideon!
Yeah. Super Marco and Haji literally walked up and said, nah, it's good, it's cool, dude. It's like, what are you doing? Like, Iman is gonna try and walk up, can't do much, Feather Air Strike.
He can't even do the defense of his life. Not against Team Falcons, not in this scenario. Team Falcons, after losing the first game, will now make it to the next stage here in the knockout stage.
Oh. An unfortunate loss for Team Vitality, but a major win for Falcons. What a game that was. The most eccentric members obviously happy with their performance, but you can tell some people were stressed, and Marco finally, a sigh of relief.